Yeah, it's on.
So say what you were saying about education in America.
So we were talking the other day, and we were talking about how the East Coast and West Coast are taught different things in schools. About how the West Coast is more art centric, and the East Coast is more mathematical and more like U.S. history centric, essentially.
U.S. history. They're striking things from the record and teaching the wrong history. Yeah, but anyway, history.
I say that loosely because it's he who wins the battle writes the books, right? And that's white man, and that sucks because it's not true the way that it goes down. But anywho, but yeah, I was talking about how it's so
strange.
It's so strange.
Why would they do that? Pray tell.
And you were saying that it was because it's to keep us separated, and I didn't even think of it from that point of view, because it doesn't. I don't think of people as trying to separate us, but we have to.
Don't think of people. Think of
because they're not.
No, think of the world as having like a handful of people that have all of the money and therefore control everything. And what would their agenda be? To continue to live like they live, and how would they generate that? Well, they would keep a population of the masses distracted and working, but paying into the system and buying into the system, just happy enough so they don't revolt, right? Yep. And how do you do that? Well, you create divisiveness, and you keep them infighting amongst each other so that they don't realize that you've got them yoked all the way up here on the chain versus down here. While we're fighting about black and white, male and female, Democrat, Republican, East Coast, West Coast, fucking Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, whatever. My religion, not yours. Because of where I was geologically born when I was conceived. Where my parents had sex is who the gods I will believe in. Basically, is your religion.
Yeah.
Tell me something different. Right. You don't get to choose your religion. You're guilted into it. Meanwhile, they all say the same fucking thing. They're all to keep us fighting against each other so we don't see what's going on. So we remain zombified and just happy enough that we keep getting up and going into work and paying into a system that doesn't give two shits or a fuck about us. Why are we sending government taxes or our taxes to wars overseas when we have homeless vets in America that can't get care? I'm not saying that I do not feel deeply for people that are affected in war times and stuff like that, but I think that we should take care of ourselves before we reach out and try to take care of everybody else, right? And as long as we have homeless vets, we are not able to say that we're militarily enough anything to be able to tell somebody else what they're doing in their fucking country, in my opinion. I digress there, but
we wouldn't have homeless vets if the healthcare was there. And see, the thing is that our country is so big on everything being consumer oriented. They want to keep alive the people that are putting into the system, and that's the old people. And they want to keep the people who are working in the system paying too much of a premium in order to live, so they're not living with any sort of luxury, so they're always working and they can't ever get ahead. And then the children that are homeless, they don't have a choice. That's where they were born also. You know, like, we're getting judged on our geography as opposed to what our actual minds are doing.
Well, and then everything about the mind is I don't know, is controlled and stifled. One of the things I really like about being out here is I feel like my mind is awake. I'm using my mind in a different way, and I've shifted into a different way of processing and thinking. I would keep that up, otherwise we're going to lose audio. I don't care if you ash on the floor.
Okay. All right, my bad.
Candy heard that. She was so cute with it, dude. Anyway. Oh, no, look, I have that.
Oh, yeah, we have an ashtray. Nice.
Anyway. I don't know. I think most of our world keeps us, and then with ourselves, too, right? Something I like about Slab City is I don't give a fuck what I look like. Right. I rolled out of bed this morning. I made sure that I didn't smell too terribly bad, and that was going above and beyond for where I'm about to go, right? They're finding out now that, like, bathing less is better for your natural biome, right? My legs are hairy. I don't fucking care. I don't care. No one's going to say anything to me. I'm a mammal. If Jesus didn't want me to have hair on my fucking legs, he wouldn't have put it there. Yeah. And I'm not going to spend money that I worked at a job for to buy a razor to remove it because there's something wrong with me.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not going to buy clown makeup to put on my face. I'll do it for fun.
It's going to make you break out, which now you have to buy chemicals to fix
put
that.
all this stuff on my face. I need to look for this. I need to look for that. Well, how about I just look the way that I look, and I'm beautiful, however, in my way that is, and I don't need to put chemicals on my fucking face. Did you know that Ozempic shit causes a sudden blindness?
Wow.
Or one of those shots. I saw a lot like that. You get in the Depo-Provera shit on my timeline now. I'm getting something about those weight loss injections related to sudden blindness. I haven't looked it up because it's terrifying. I don't want to know. I am fine the way that I am. They make it expensive to eat healthy food. They feed us processed crap. You know what I mean?
It's not even like they've been looking at on TikTok. There's a lot of videos of people actually reading the ingredients on the Great Value stuff.
Oh, dude, just recently.
like syrup has anchovies in it. Why are there trace amounts of anchovies in your blueberry syrup kind of thing? Like, why is there, styrofoam fucking chemicals
but
in
we
your
don't
dog
care.
food?
And our money is our vote, and we continue to go work for that dollar, and then we continue to get taxed on that dollar when we make it. We get taxed on it when we spend it.
Yeah. And that's still not enough.
I forget how many times they say that dollar is actually taxed before it leaves your hands. What percentage of it you get to retain? Yeah. Somebody Google that, put it in the comments. Because I know that number's out there. I've heard it before. But we don't protest because we like to eat that shit. Look at all of us. Americans everyone's going towards overweight. And why? Because we're eating the wrong foods. Why? That's the food choices. It's easier to keep that food. It lasts longer. It's easier to preservatives, you know what I mean? And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's fucking cheaper. When I was living in Babylon and I was on my strict little diet, it was costing me to eat like $70-$80 a week to buy fresh food, and it was a bitch to keep it, right? I can't do that out here.
In Babylon where you had AC and a refrigerator.
Right.
Out here we get our free boxes of vegetables once a week, and then we have to eat them in 2 days or else they rot. Oh look, free couches.
Jesus didn't grant me with a fucking truck because I'd be getting in trouble.
So much trouble.
I'd already have so much stuff anyway. I don't know. I'm not saying that when I say this is me, I'm not saying it's okay to like not take care of your body and be overweight. What I'm saying, like I just shouldn't have to. I don't want to alter myself with makeup. I don't need fancy clothes. Now I can agree that like some of my clothes are ratty and probably need to go in the donation or get thrown away pile. Not even worthy of the donation pile anymore, but like
I think they're only allowed to be in like so many donation piles before they're considered garbage.
And not that I don't love fashion, and I think it's cool on a novelty level, but the fact that people spend,
hundreds of dollars on a purse or a wallet
or a fucking t-shirt that I'm only going to get mustard on the next time I eat a hot dog or something, you know what I mean? I'm constantly spilling stuff on me.
Or bleach spots.
Fuck.
Oh, they've been getting all my good shirts.
I just don't understand that, like, they create this culture of shame and fear. And now we're paying for luxuries that we don't need so that we can work the job to buy the things that we don't need for a little bit of creature comfort.
And to pay people to live our lives for us.
Correct. We don't know how to fix anything. If it's broken, we throw it away. And what have we done? We've gotten disposable objects with planned obsolescence. Yep. This is my peaceful protest in Slab City. I don't want to participate in that. I'm not saying that this is better, but at least it's more peaceful living. I can deal with this. I can't wrap my head around. Now that I've seen what I've seen about that, I can't do it long term.
You can't unsee it.
No, I don't want to do another summer because I don't like the heat. I don't like it. But luckily, the way that everything is positioned, I can continue to probably do what I did. You know what I mean? I've got a place to stay next summer. I can drop in, drop out, drop in, drop out. But mostly I want to drop out. The more people that drop out, the more attention we raise and the more likely for change. Everybody fucking talks about revolution. If we needed a revolution, well, nobody really wants to fucking actually quit their job and move out to the fucking desert and peaceful protest. And then, maybe when we get enough people, we can revolution. But like, we're not at revolution yet. We're barely at a grumble. The nation is barely at a low rumble of pissed offness. You know what I mean?
I think the nation is so confused by the way that the media has been portraying the problems that we have.
How is that when I'm only watching influencers at this fucking point and I'm not watching regular news sources anymore? Why would I?
Right, but then there's still the news sources where the AI is literally the ones that are creating the social media. It's going to be harder coming up soon, and now with a lot of them, where they're making whole videos created by AI where you have to tag that it was created by AI.
Yeah, but
because it's not really, it's false information, and they're flooding. They flooded us with false information when the internet became a thing, and that's how they were able to rationalize giving the public so much information, because they were like, hey, let's give them the internet because it was a military thing, right? So let's give them the internet, but now they know too much. Well, let's make them doubt what they know by flooding it full of a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense.
And nobody's going to do peer-reviewed evidence. Nobody's going to even look for that. And now it could probably be faked. I was thinking about that the other day.
Because I remember when I was younger, it was like, if the news is saying it, it can't be false. That would be illegal.
Right.
You know, but as I get older, I notice that it's all a manipulation.
Because those major handful of people own the news and what's put out on the news and what you can see and what you can't see. But who would have thunk it back when you were in school and you were learning about what was trusted information and what sources you could use for your book report? You know, you could only use 2 internet sources and you had to use the library for at least 5.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
Nowadays, how do you find when AI really takes off? How will you be able to find actual articles and not garbage? You've heard of the
information.
Dead internet theory?
No.
I can't explain this, but this is something I'm going to send it to you. You got to watch it later on the Y-Files. It's my favorite explanation of it. But I'll put the link in it. It's basically, this is terrible. It's basically that the most of the internet is dead. It's automated. It's bots. It's served content, but it's not. Most of the people that are watching ads are not people watching. It's just AI generated bots that are running the internet. Like,
that's crazy.
That's a terrible explanation of it. I know I murdered that, but no, you got to listen to the dude.
Okay.
The dude.
Which dude? Like, is it a dude that I would know?
There's a lot of people that talk about it, but I particularly like the Y-Files. Okay. I like the guy. I like his storytelling methods. I think he's cool, and I like the way he presents the information. And I hardly ever watch shit on the fucking phone. That's something that I would watch on the phone.
Huh. Okay,
so I like the Y-Files. Dead internet theory. It's bots. But yeah, no, I never thought that I would ever be like at a point where fuck science. Yeah. You know what I mean? What is science getting for us? More and more. Like, we're using it to automate our lives, which is removing us from, I look at, older people seem to be more fulfilled. The way the Indians lived, or they were more in tune with nature and the world, they were more fulfilled. And now what do? We go to our jobs, we work repetitive tasks that we hate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, to pay for other people to live our lives.
I don't want to live like this. How can I live like that? Well, you can't, you know? It's one of the reasons I'm in Slab City. I like the little house on the prairie shit. I like bucketing my water. I can't believe there's more people that aren't willing to actually quit their jobs and do it. Well, I didn't realize till I left and came back how I dismissed how big it is.
Well, you have to think in a lot of places in this country, it's illegal to live the way that we live.
In Florida, it's illegal to not pay.
So there's also the water rights and stuff situations where people are not allowed to go fishing without licenses. Right. People are not allowed to go into waterways without licenses.
Boating license,
you have to pay for everything.
License. Yeah, be alive.
Because of where we live and because of the extreme temperatures and stuff, they allow us to do things for survival. But I've gotten special permissions in order to use the canal because I have all the animals that I have, and you've gotten special permissions because of the same reason, the animals that you have. But there's a lot of people even in our community that if they were out there pumping and getting water the way that we do, they would be told not to.
Right.
You know, we take for granted the amount of access that we have because of where we are in the location that we're in.
So the last couple of days I was looking at, I had heard from Nature Glow Adventures. She scooted up to Julian to hide from the heat. It's 2 hours away up in the mountains towards San Diego, something like that. Beautiful looking little town.
Yeah.
Well, we had that heat wave coming up, and I was like, well, I'm welcome to stay at Max, but I could go buy a tent at Walmart and maybe go camp somewhere. You know what I mean? And then I could just, I could camp with the animals somewhere up there in a $35 fucking a night to be homeless in Julian.
Dude, BLM land went from $40 for a week up to $200 a week to stay on their land.
$35 fucking to pitch a tent somewhere in Julian, up in Julian, California, and be homeless. I looked around for free camping. I didn't see anything. I'm not saying that there's not, or I couldn't have found a spot, but I'm saying
there's not, though.
It doesn't seem like there is.
That's one of the things that a lot of our traveler friends are posting about right now is that a lot of the free camping is going up to hundreds of dollars for weekly stays. Because they're cracking down on homeless here in California, they are literally trying to make it so that they have nowhere else to go. Because where are they going to go? They're going to go to the parks. They're going to go to the shelters. The shelters are full. There's no shelters. Imperial County has 7 shelters for over 1,400 homeless people.
Right.
There's not enough space. They're shutting down trailer parks up in Desert Hot Springs, but they have nowhere to go. So they're essentially turning them into little slab cities because they're not making them leave because they don't have anywhere to send them. But they're taking all their amenities, they're taking their trash, their postal, their water, their sewage, they're taking all of it away from them, being like, oh, but now we're going to put you in jail because you're dumping your sewage, you're using solar on a residential property space without paying back into it, you're, you know, all of these things. They're finding reasons to put people in jail, which again feeds the system. You know, it's a whole ploy. I looked into earlier this summer, I looked into that emergency fund that California has.
Yeah.
And they give you $200. Okay, they give you $200 as a let's help you get started kind of thing, which sounds cool, and it would be helpful. However, what they don't tell you until they get you into the middle of sign up is that you have to pay it back in 6 months. And if you don't pay it back in 6 months, you are then subject to legal action. And I asked them, I said, what does that mean? And they were like, well, we could put you on side of the road work detail, or you end up spending 30 days in jail, or you end up paying 3 times the amount that we let you borrow. I said, so you're literally telling people that have nothing, that are reaching out to you and going through all of these steps to try to get help, that if they can't pay it back in 6 months in an area that has the 4th poorest county in the entire state of California, that you're going to put them in jail or you're going to put them to work for the state. They were like, well, yeah. And I was like, that's messed up. I would like to rescind my application, and please do not contact me again because this is a scam.
I don't want that money.
I was like, it would have helped. You know, my vehicle was down at the time and I could have gotten back on my feet, and I probably could have paid it back. But no, I don't want to have that shackle, and I don't want to. That would be me supporting the system. You know, and other people would see me using that and may not have the same capabilities that we do.
Right.
You know,
but
or the same motivation.
I wouldn't even want to fucking risk it though.
Yeah, that risk is that 6 months, and it's a very strict 6 months. Like they were like, if you get it on the 10th of this month, and they were like explaining, and it was very strict. And there has to, within that 6 month period, you have to be showing documentation of looking for jobs, and it's like there's a reason why I need help. I'm not just somebody, and most of us are not people that just want to sit on our asses and do nothing. There's literally nothing for us to do. The closest workspace is 45 minutes away. The bus runs early in the morning. If we were able to get to the bus, you know, because the bus is 4 miles away up to Nyland. So it's about 4 miles away. And then, you know, it's...
And what temperature is it right now? Half the year, it's pretty warm. Let's just... Because getting to the bus stop is not easy. It's cooled down a lot now. Hold on, refreshing. I'm just curious. It's 82 today. Which, you know, 82 doesn't sound super hot. But again, like...
It's 80...
What people don't realize is without AC, without climate control regularly, that 82 all day, 82... It's not even going to stay 82. It'll be 111 today.
It's not even 9 o'clock yet.
You can't, I mean, other places, yeah, they get hot and they might get hotter, dude. I thought Louisiana sucked with the humidity.
Yeah.
It was hot, it was awful, and it was bad, but when you have the luxury of some kind of AC.
Yeah.
You just don't understand. You don't understand what it's like out here in the heat. No. But anyway. I think out here where the police are more corrupt as well, make it a worse place to take out some kind of loan like that, right, with the government?
Yes.
Right, in Lakeland, where I grew up, the police weren't corrupt, I don't feel.
No.
I worked real close to them. They're really, that's like, they've done a lot of stuff in that town to keep the police, like, under control. Like, they're decent people out that way. And, I didn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, I would listen to the stuff on the news about the corrupt police forces and shit like that and be like, you know what I mean? Like, well, they're probably bad people doing bad things, and that's why the police are mean to them. Yeah. With my viewpoint of the police in my town seem to be relatively just and corrupt. You know, working as a nurse in the ER, you see how they treat people.
Yeah.
And then I started traveling, right, as a nurse, and then I moved to a really poor area of the world, and I've seen some stuff, and I wouldn't want to owe Imperial County a thing.
No.
I need to get my license plate mounted before I get pulled on it again and get a real ticket, and I just don't know how to do it. Oh, and we can stop this if we need the nav.
No,
good enough. It's 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're going right.
It's gonna take 10 years to fucking upload. We're gonna have to upload it at max.
Turn right, then turn left.
Boom. Yeah.
I want to tell you a joke off the...
Do you want to stop it?
Yes, go ahead, stop it.